You can see Juju competing on the million.
I've seen it. I've seen it. I've felt it. I don't need to see that. Hey everyone, it's Mera Mangle.
And Fabrielle.
And welcome to another Mangled morning. Woo! We really
hit it today.
We did a thud there.
Well, you're Harley, so you're used to swinging a bat.
It's coming up to bat, yeah. How you doing, gal? It's been a minute.
I'm good.
Just a couple weeks, I guess. You lost the Oscar.
We lost. Wicked lost the Oscar, but I think next year will come.
Right, you have a part 2.
Yeah, part 2 is when we'll snatch all the things and...
You'll have those Oscars for good.
Exactly.
You know who's going to be snatching trophies? Somebody on season 17. In just a few weeks, I feel like.
Ooh.
We've got to be getting there, because we're at the top 6.
Yeah, oh my God, now we are. That's crazy. This season has gone by really fast.
It has, yeah. We're going to talk all about season 17 this week. And in addition to that, the Slaysian Royale was announced. Drag Race Philippines, their first all-star spinoff. We've never had a show called Slaysian Royale, so it's its own unique thing,
And we've been waiting.
But they kind of give us an idea of which version of All-Stars it's going to be like. So we'll get into all of that. Mm-hmm. But before we get started, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video, and join the Patreon where you can see all kinds of additional content you can't see on YouTube, but you're helping support the channel. That was great. That was satisfying. Woke me up. Got me excited to be here. Now, you can also support the channel by tipping on Venmo or Cash App, like Irvin A., who said, video idea, queens the fans want back, but they wouldn't return. So he said that Asia O'Hare came to mind.
Yeah.
So we've been asking for them to come back, but they're not really interested.
Is she still hosting Vegas or not anymore?
Yeah, the show employs her full time, so I guess she's like, well, why would I?
What more do I need to gain?
So they force her to go.
Yeah, and she did great the first time.
Right.
The only thing that
except for
was the weird was her butterflies.
But I mean, no one cares about that.
No one gives. No, we're not talking about that.
And Irvin said, glad to see you again.
Yes.
Loving the new videos.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you, Irvin.
Now, of course, you can also tip using the YouTube thanks, which we'll go over some of those at the end of the video.
Yes.
I just had the feeling that my pony was falling.
Oh, no.
Got a, extra clip in to give her life.
Yes. I did not clip this flower crown in, so I'm just...
Yeah, your look is so adorable.
Thank you. It's Lorelai Gilmore.
Okay.
In the episode where it's from Gilmore Girls. I'm a Gilmore Girls stan. I don't think
I've never watched it.
Yeah.
But if you go on the Warner Brothers tour in LA.
Oh yeah. The lot.
Well, right. The majority of what they show you on the lot. Well, there's other references they could give you.
Yeah.
But I feel like my tour guide always gives all Gilmore Girl references.
Well, that's when I watched WandaVision, I was like, I know that set. Yeah. It's Gilmore Girls. It's the Gilmore Girls set, but it worked so well because I'm sure Wanda probably would have watched Gilmore Girls, because she loved sitcoms and shows like that.
I love the Warner Brothers tour.
I've never gone. I need to go.
I go every single time I go to LA. Because it's the DC comic stuff, so there's usually there's every Batmobile there. Mm-hmm. The Friends couch is always there. You get to go on a couple live sets.
I bet that's magical.
I love it. You know how Universal has a studio tour, but it's not a real studio. It's a ride. Mm-hmm. Warner Brothers is not a ride. It's like you're literally on a working studio. You're seeing real stuff.
I love that. I've never done anything like that.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Me too. I've been to Six Flags. That's it.
Well, there you go. Well, you saw some Batman-related things there.
Yeah. Some DC.
Right. We heard rumors last year that Drag Race France and Philippines were going to get their own All-Stars, own version of All-Stars. And so we were speculating if they were going to be Versus the Worlds, if it was going to be regular. Right. And I was hearing that Philippines was going to be a Versus the World. Well, they had officially announced what it is going to be, and it's a name I would have never come up with. It's Drag Race Philippines Slaysian Royale.
I love it.
What does that mean? Well, essentially, based on what I've gathered from the...
That's Latrice's sister.
Slaysian Royale, yeah, there you go. Essentially, it's a Versus the World. It's their version of Versus the World.
Yeah.
Asian queens from all franchises competing.
Love that.
Which I think is a fantastic idea. I'm really glad they're doing this. Because France is doing a regular All-Stars, right? And the difference, though, is this is going to get so many more eyes on the franchise. Just having others involved.
Yeah. Asia and, all the different cultures represented. I feel like they're really going to bring it. You know?
There's so much diversity within Asia.
Right.
There's queens from the U.S. and Canada and all around the world that will have different life experiences that they can share together.
Yeah, and relate to.
I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Will this be on WoW Presents?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I love
Represents Plus. But so, immediately, we started thinking about, well, should we do some sort of wish list for this? What I was kind of waiting on, I feel like what I need to know is who's going to be on the judges panel or guest judging.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's going to determine who I would cast,
Right.
So I thought first we could talk about some people that I think should either be permanent or guest judges.
Yes.
Of course, our Asian winners, Raja, Sasha Colby, Nymphia Wynn, Priyanka from Canada, I think would all be great.
They would all be incredible.
And of course, on the other side, I have drag legends, which are Juju, Manila, Kimchi, and Plastique. Those are queens that I couldn't see competing.
Yeah.
Just because...
You couldn't see Juju competing on the millionth
I've seen it. I've seen it. I felt it. I don't need to see that.
Right.
No, for real, I don't need to see that. And I feel like everyone would think it was a joke.
It would, yeah. I feel like it would.
I think it would be funny
actually, it would be funny if they did like how Raven came in.
Yeah, they should do that with
all
Juju.
winners. They should do that with Juju. That would be hysterical.
But that way she's not flying over to the Philippines for no reason. She should be on the judges panel or guest judge at least 1 week.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, I would love to see all of these people like Raja. I feel like she would just have I love what she has to say on Fashion Photo Review.
And we've already seen Sasha Colby was a good guest judge on Down Under.
Yeah. And she would be great, like, Pacific Islander representation. Yeah. Nymphia also, I feel like, would just have so many good things to say. Priyanka, I feel like, would just be funny.
Well, she guest judged on Canada.
Yeah.
And I feel like, she, like, I don't remember anything she said.
But maybe Brooke was like, take that out. Take those funny lines out. She can't upstage me.
I was thinking more like, what I loved about Sasha was that it was like, oh, this is good. This is good feedback.
Yeah.
This is really good feedback.
It was. Yeah. Exactly.
I think, obviously, Manila would be good because she hosts her own show for a while.
Yeah.
I could totally see her, like, giving great advice.
She would be incredible. But again, like, it's, like, hard because she deserves a crown,
Right, but also, would it be fair to anyone?
It would be very, like, opinion, Alyssa Edwards coded.
It would be like it'd be like Alyssa walking in Global. It'd be like a meet and greet for Manila.
Right.
But I was just, like, quickly trying to come up with some of the first names that came to mind.
Mm-hmm.
The top rows queens from the Philippines. Of course, Miss Jade and Angel, personality-wise. People are going to be mad if they're not there.
I would be upset if they weren't there. Or on a future season if this does well.
Yeah, maybe not both of them, but one of them needs to be there.
Right.
And
it would be fun to see them interact.
Yeah, it would actually be fun to see them together. And then I've got Turing, Bernie, Brigantine, and Ovi from Philippines.
Yeah.
I think, but also
Bernie would be great.
More. Yeah, Bernie would be fantastic.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't realize, we were talking to our Patreon members the other night about this and like speculating on the cast. Man, Canada always has really great Asian representation.
They do, yeah.
Because you could almost do a whole cast of all-stars from Canada.
Right.
Just for Slaysian Royale.
That's true.
Of course, Aurora Matrix, the runner-up. Bombay would be fantastic.
Love Bombay.
I'd love to see how much she's progressed.
Yes.
Suki Doll, the looks, the designer.
Would love to see Suki turn more looks.
Right. Kimmy Couture, the lip-sync assassin.
Yeah, Kimmy. I would die to see Kimmy back. She is great. Incredible. And I feel like she has probably grown a lot. And I would love to see Bombay back, too, because I feel like Bombay probably grew a lot, too, specifically in the makeup. Newer. She's been doing, like, really cool stuff lately on Instagram. I've seen her.
Right, and she was newer to drag back then.
She was, yeah, exactly.
And she's always been creative, But, yeah, it's the polish she's going to have now.
This past season, I would love to see Sanjina, I think. Was that her name? Sanjina?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see her, too.
For the U.S. and, of course, Drag Race Thailand, they both have lots of contenders as well.
Right.
If you want to get messy, bring Giagon in. I feel like Angina is one of those people that's on the borderline of almost being like those first queens we looked at that were judges, where she is a legend, But
she still has redemption. Miss Cracker, I feel like being so
she got in her
harsh
head
to her. Yeah, like...
And it worked.
I would love to see her back uninhibited and, like, not even listening to her inner saboteur at all.
From Thailand, the first three queens that just came to mind as I was trying to throw this together. Anime Wong, runner-up on season 1.
Yes.
Candy Cyanide, the world's most famous Ariana Grande impersonator.
Excuse me? I'm sitting right here.
She... But this bitch really looks like her. Like, she really looks
so you don't think I look like her?
You look like Fabrielle.
I would never say that you don't look like Janet Jackson.
Have I given you the... Is that what people think they think I actually look like her?
No.
ZP from the most recent season of Thailand.
Oh, okay.
I think she'd be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
From, like, out of everyone from the new season, she would be my number one. And then River Medway from UK, I think would be, like, fantastic. I know there's so many...
River was cut too short as well. Because didn't she leave with Teresa?
Yeah, that double elimination.
That was wackadoodle.
But there's so many good contenders from the franchises all around the world. But those are just some of the folks
That's why they're doing this show. Just, like, incredible Asian drag.
I put this together just in, like, 10 minutes. And these are just names that came to mind immediately. So I'm like, we could definitely do wish list, but... Yeah, let's wait a couple weeks and see if we get any more information about judges. Mm-hmm. But if we don't, then maybe we'll have to do that.
Yes.
But let us know who you want to see on.
Yes, in the comments below. Comment your favorite.
That was implied. How else would they let us know?
They're going to scream into the void. Mentally, telepathically.
Right, use your Jean Grey powers.
Send it to us, yes.
All right, let's get into season 17. Let's talk about this challenge. I had fun watching them do the challenge.
We were a little afraid because of the tornado.
First of all, yes. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. We had a hard time focusing this episode because the weather was severe. Yeah. Literally.
It was severe up in here.
We had a tornado warning in the middle of watching the episode, and from that point forward, it was very difficult to focus. Yeah. Like, stay focused and stay in it.
Hail falling from the sky.
Yes, it was crazy here. But
I broke your fence when I came in.
The porch, yeah.
Yeah.
We made it through. We survived. We're here.
Yeah.
We're here, and we lived to tell the tale. This challenge was tornadic.
It didn't blow us away.
It sure didn't.
I love the inspiration, Truman Capote. That's really cool.
They combine that with reality. They can't ever just do do one thing.
They can't do one thing. It has to be like cross references and mixtures of things.
With Real Housewives and New York.
It was basically like the Real Housewives are like a SheMZ.
Also Ross's voice, because it was so high pitched already. Yeah. It was a little difficult to listen to sometimes.
Right.
Bless his heart.
We didn't have Cheyenne Jackson directing him, did we?
Right. I'd be like, take it. Can we go a little deeper?
Right. Just a little bit.
Let's just see what can happen.
Just to see.
I had a good time watching them do their takes, and the behind the scenes was fun.
I liked the girls reacting to the rehearsal. Yeah. That was fun to watch.
Whole part was way more fun than the actual challenge was to watch. Yeah. The actual challenge was a little bit of a slog. It was just, it's always just a little bit too long for each segment.
And I feel like we could have done without the cutting to Ross Mathews scenes too with the typewriter. Funny. Yeah, I was just like,
if it would have been funny,
it would have been fine. I just feel like I don't know, the writing on some of the acting challenges.
Right, and that's historically always been that's always a problem.
Right.
I will say, by comparison, we've had far worse.
Yeah, that's true.
And at least the girls. Just about everyone actually delivered, considering the material. Yeah,
I think they did as much with the material as they could. Yeah. Nobody, flopped horribly.
Yeah, I would say by far the weakest was Lydia.
Yeah.
Lydia was not as connected as everyone else to me.
It just felt like she could have used some energy.
She didn't know it was like she didn't realize she was in a drag acting skit.
What we were saying, why she worked so well with the roast is because she is deadpan.
Right.
And dry. and very dry and can just deliver.
Your vagina.
I don't know if I'll remember it. I wouldn't want to rewatch this particular episode.
The best part that I enjoyed even on the rewatch was the ASMR section.
That part was hilarious.
Because it was so unexpected. And it was one of the only parts where people didn't escalate to more yelling.
They all ended in a physical fight.
It was
it's just like, can we do something new? Do something new, do an eyebrow, do something else. I thought Suzie and Lexi really delivered. It was funny and enjoyable to watch, and I thought Onya did a great job too. And everybody else was just kind of serviceable.
By far the best pair was Suzie and Lexi.
Yeah.
Which, this was a big week for Lexi. She overcame her inner saboteur, which apparently is Suzie Toot in her mind.
And Suzie's is Anya's lace.
dark lace that RuPaul called out. That was hilarious because it was distracting.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, she looks beautiful, and then I was like, we could have just thrown maybe just a little headband on.
Right.
Because I was like, because this was a different look for her.
Why was this one why did you have to borrow this wig?
Because you could wear anything.
Right.
I wanted to rip Jules' wig off of her head because I love that. I would put that in my wardrobe immediately.
Yeah, that was very you. Jules was, I felt like Jules was actually a bigger letdown for me than Lana, because I felt like Lana did fine.
You expect more of Jules.
She did blend in some, but Jules had a solo part, essentially.
Yeah, she was supposed to be like
monologue.
Tiffany New York Pollard.
And she was not giving that at all.
Yeah, and then they tried to say that like she had been waiting all day on set.
She was tired by the time she got up there, which was funny in her monologue, because also a lot of times they don't give us that. Mm-hmm. I actually appreciated that, because
some explanation.
That is so real, too.
Yeah.
The last show I did, I remember, like, by the time it was time to perform, I was ready to go to bed.
Yeah, but if she had been through that before, you got to get up, you got to do some jumping jacks, you got to go.
It is hard to pick up the energy again, but that's life. That is life. To be fair to her, that monologue she's doing.
I think it was a trap. I do. I think
she's doing it to the room, which is a very different setup than how New York was doing it to confessional. Mm-hmm. And also, even on the rewatch, because I was like, as we watched it the other night, I was like, this doesn't make any sense. She said that Ross bought the blouses for her. Why is she not wearing them?
Yeah.
But they were hers. She owns them now.
Right.
But then she also is then telling him he is not fit to wear them. Well, he was never going to wear them.
I felt we didn't storyboard. We didn't have a through line of the story, and we were just throwing. And also, what does Tiffany New York Pollard have to do with Truman Capote?
Like, she's a modern day, socialite, I guess.
I guess. But, like, I don't know.
The whole housewife angle was a straight. I actually think it would have been better if they were all, like, classic Hollywood actresses.
I would have actually really loved to see that. Like, Audrey Hepburn or...
Yeah, they didn't have to be ones from...
Maryland.
The Swan.
Yeah.
They could just literally be famous people from across the decades. I think that'd be great.
That kind of would have been more... It would have been different. Because we've seen this type of challenge before, like the courtroom one and the,
Yeah, because essentially most people were just playing versions of themselves, like heightened versions of themselves. Sandless Country.
True. Yeah, no one really transformed for me, except for Onya.
Lana and Onya were mother-daughter, and Lana was the mother.
Which was hysterical.
Which was just so silly.
I really loved Lana's look, though.
I wish she would keep those pads on.
The pads were cool, and
the jumpsuit.
She looked great in the blue.
She did. Actually, I really liked Anya's
too. Yeah, they get the best looks in the challenge because her makeup, like I think you pointed out, matched her hair
perfectly.
Yeah,
she had purple and orange, and like every color she had in her eyeshadow too.
One thing I am grateful for this challenge is just the name of just Onya going like this with the breastplate. Looking like the Babadook with those long fingers. Like
she made the most of that.
That was wonderful, but like if we had just had a few more moments like that.
And she had a rough start to this episode because she read Ariette's goodbye message, which was very hateful. And she got a little emotional. And this was something they tell us that she's been open with the girls about and talked about that.
But we haven't seen before.
Right, yeah. But at least we get to hear that in her dialogue. It was a low blow.
Why would you want to leave on that note? I don't understand.
It was trashy.
And maybe she thought, I didn't do well in the roast, so I'll try to be funny with this message and leave.
No, because she was really mad at her, remember?
Yeah.
Like, she was still so mad at her, even though she apologized to Jules. When all Onya was doing was sticking up for Jules.
That's all she was doing. So she was just saying... And then I think Ariette just maybe took it too personally, and then she thought that... I feel like she might just be that insecure kid still. Yeah. And I understand Ariette coming from that place of, like... Why did you put me in this position? Because you're putting me before you, and then you're going to go after me because you think I'm going to do bad and you're going to look better. Uh-huh. But she could have, but really, where else would she have put her? And
also, she was saying that she was going to bomb it from the
jump. That's how she started her roast. She said, I'm not going to do well at this. And then she didn't. So if you're already in that headspace, of course you're not going to do well. So
wouldn't you want at least your friend to be in the spot that goes well?
Right. I don't know.
Somebody's got to be there.
But Lexi coming for her, I really didn't understand. Because
wild.
she asked for that position. She asked to be last.
That was insanity. But she had a full-on redemption this week working with Suzie. So
she did.
I feel like hopefully that is resolved. And now that she's worked with her inner saboteur, she's moved on.
And
I was nervous, though, because, in the little bit of footage we see from behind the scenes, she was stumbling a little bit. But she was great in the final product.
I feel like that was a misdirect, for sure. Yeah. They, wanted us to think that she wasn't going to do well, but...
Because she was fantastic.
Her and Suzie together were wonderful. And, I still don't understand why she thinks Suzie is, her personal Jason Voorhees.
Well, also,
Ru
asked the question, who should go home tonight and why? And almost all of them say Suzie.
I feel like that, like Suzie was saying, I feel like it's a cop-out answer.
Absolutely.
And they have all been
I wish Ru would have told them, I don't want who's your biggest competition. I want who should go home tonight.
Jules even being I think she should be eliminated just because of that lace. It was just do you really think Suzie... Right. I'm no, Suzie is a wonderful competitor, but
But it's interesting, I guess. Do they all have the same feelings that Lexi was having, that Susie's the biggest competition? Because Onya and Sam are right there with her, and now Anya's above all of them. She has more wins.
But it's almost they pick on... Suzie takes it really well, because if I was Suzie, I'd probably be crying.
Do you know what I think it is? She's reminiscent of Jinx Monsoon, and I feel like they're worried that she is going to be the fan favorite. They're creating the story in their mind.
Yeah.
And so they are seeing her as Jinx, essentially.
That's
their Jinx.
Right, the Jinx of season 17, but
I mean, that's not,
She's her own...
Right, she's her own being.
Right, exactly. And Suzie even is okay, I was safe in this challenge and safe in that challenge. Why are y'all coming for me so? I feel like they just all said Suzie as a cop-out.
I love that at the end of the deliberation, Ru's all right, well, I know what we have to do. Eliminate Suzie.
Yes!
It's so funny.
It was
it was so ridiculous.
Right, it's so ridiculous that Ru even had to joke about it.
The bottom two ended up being Lana and...
Lydia.
The L names.
Yeah.
Yeah, bottom two were Lana and Lydia, and they had to do a Sam Smith song, Unholy.
Which I saw that coming. I was
you called it out.
I was I want it to be Latch, but I know it's going to be Unholy.
Speaking of holy, Lydia decided to create some holes in her garment.
Which took about...
The whole
1 minute, yeah.
The song is literally only 2 minutes,
Right.
It's a really short song.
And they didn't do the Kim...
They did, but she was cutting the whole time.
Yeah.
So, a lot of you can hear Kim in the background, but a lot of it's the cutting.
Right. And, she was looking at the cutting. She didn't, try to do it and angle up. She
did a little bit at first, but then she was oh, I gotta get moving.
She was doing, as Suzie Toot would call it, decision.
But then she's on the floor and still trying to get out of it, and Lana's, doing what we know she can do.
Right. Honestly, Lana didn't give me anything that she hasn't given us before.
No, but also, it worked for the song.
It worked, yeah. Again, a sexy, slow song.
Right. But I feel like what Lydia was doing beforehand, being a little goofy and making eyes and faces, I thought it would have been hard to sustain that the whole song.
Yeah.
But it would have been better than what she did, and she would have had a better shot of staying. But yeah, when Ru was looking at her on the ground, it was over. You could see just... the way that Ru will look at them, I feel like we know.
Especially Lydia, because she's been connecting with Lydia so much in the eyes. When she did Boogie Wonderland, it was she locked eyes, and it was just Ru and Lydia in the room.
And the disappointment in Ru's daughter.
I don't know why she wouldn't, at least get that started, or,
What she should have done is when they were in Untucked... Because it had a little slit in the back. Because she could, you could see her little legs kicking out when she was walking the runway.
Yeah.
She should have cut that slit higher before she went out there, and then she wouldn't have to do any of that.
Or grabbed, those scissors looked like those metal ones that I know don't cut well. Yeah. You should have grabbed the nicest pair of the sharpest scissors that you could have.
Which they probably don't even let them have.
Right.
Well, also, I mean, to be real about reality TV, it's... really against the rules to have scissors in a moment like this because it's dangerous.
Is that why all the girls
like,
who do that typically get eliminated?
I feel like that's why, yeah. Because has anyone, besides Ginger Minj...
Scarlett, when she did
I feel like when Ginger and Sasha Belle cut themselves apart, they literally had, like, toddler scissors, you know? The little...
safety scissors,
right,
yeah.
the little tiny baby scissors.
Right.
And, I mean, she had won 3 challenges at that point, so...
she wasn't going nowhere.
And Trixie had just got back.
I unfortunately don't think Lydia won this, but she just got too... It was fumbly.
She got too caught up.
And she never
really got finished.
No, and then she just like stepped out of it and got caught.
She gave up.
And then if you are gonna cut,
and then
you need to dance. And she cut it and then just did floor work, and it was like, ugh.
You could have done that before you cut it.
Right, you could have just left it.
Because she didn't spread no legs, no nothing.
Honestly, and I do feel like if she hadn't and just delivered camp and like had bopped around like she was, she probably would have won. And Lana's dress, the crotch was out
the whole time.
the whole time.
It was hard to even look at Lana, honestly, because the scissor bit, once that started,
That's all we could.
It was just yeah,
it was the like, train wreck. Yeah, I can't look away.
But Lydia did have a really cute exit. I feel like it was one of the cuter exits of the season.
Didn't she say, "Well, right"? Oh, that was a good exit line.
Which all goes back to the butthole.
It all comes back to the butthole.
Onya's the first of 3 wins.
Yeah.
And is now the front runner. We've got probably, 1 or 2 more challenges left?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Do you think they'll do a top 3 or a top 4?
We might have a challenge at the top 4, and, a lot of times they won't eliminate somebody. But last year, we did have a top 3. They did it last year.
Yeah. I feel like they might do top 3 again.
Yeah.
I feel like when you have a top 3, it's like it's the strongest competitors in there,
Right.
I also love that Onya's and Lana's track records are the inverse of one another.
Oh, yeah. Polar opposite.
That's crazy.
She clearly, would be the next to go, but...
But she did great in the roast, so she's full of surprises still.
Right.
And and
if people keep messing up in the lip sync...
then who knows? Because she's won the most lip syncs now.
Yeah, it's crazy. She would technically be the assassin, but I feel like we don't really have one this season yet. Which is crazy because it's almost over, but there's not really been an assassin.
Right. Well, the people that I really want to see lip sync have been doing really well.
I mean, look at that. The 4 at the top, which probably will be the top 4. Mm-hmm. No bottoms at all.
My top 4 is Onya, Suzie, Lexi, Jules. That's my top 4 that I want in my mind. But Sam Starr is objectively doing really well. So.
And her story arc, she gets the most development every week.
Yeah.
This back half of the season.
With Lydia and her, they had that reconciling.
As we were watching that, didn't I say, I was like, this is all development for Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
It really is. It's showing that she's working with an alternative queen and she's growing. And then, before she had vulnerability with Lexi. Like, it always feels like, okay, they're really trying to give her a winner's edit. She must make it all the way to the end, is what I think.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Trinity. She's such a strong competitor. You
almost
can't
identically.
Really, right. Like
even with that stuff.
Right, exactly. You can't deny that she's good at Drag Race.
And she's wearing some of her looks.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, she's great at Drag Race. I did a poll before episode 11, about who do the Patreon members want to win the season. Onya ran away with this poll with 66%?
Wow.
Yeah. I'm surprised it wasn't more competitive.
I'm surprised it was between Suzie. I feel like Suzie, Onya, Lexi, they didn't get more.
Well, Lexi was coming off a really rough week because I feel like she's been a fan favorite. And I feel like Sam is a fan favorite too. But yeah, Jules is beating Sam and Lexi in our Patreon member poll.
That's wild. But
I do like Jules, but
I love Jules. Like, aesthetically, I feel like the most in line with Jules, out of the contestants. But
that's funny because I would actually agree for myself too, probably.
Yeah. She's her or Lexi.
I was thinking about Lexi's trains and capes.
Yeah.
I love a good cape.
Love a cape.
But they're on her for that.
Right. They're on her train.
Right. Next week, they said they're doing one-woman shows, something like that.
It was like the vagina monologues, right?
But clearly there's also a part of it that's an interpretive dance.
Right, because that's a play. But this was all dance.
Yeah, the monologue thing would be like just talking. It's not dancing.
Right.
I feel like this is going to be a bit before the actual challenge.
It was giving like Martha Graham, like modern dance.
Yeah.
Interpretive modern dance. And I was like,
that can't be the challenge. That has to be like a bit before,
Oh, maybe it is.
That's what I feel like. Because they also showed everybody do it.
Right. Or maybe they're going to have a voiceover monologue while they interpretive dance to the monologue.
That seems really silly.
That would be really wild, but, you know.
We've seen worse, though.
Right.
And it looks like next week Jules is once again in charge of doing the lineup order. It looked like it was actually her and Suzie, so they must win the mini challenge or something.
Oh, okay.
You know,
maybe
she was going over it with Suzie in the preview.
Everybody always attacks people who do, like, remember Ellie Diamonds? They all got so
Lawrence
mad at
lost
her.
Her mind.
Yeah, like, I'm like, why? We need to, like, lay off the lineup because you should be able to do well in any position in the lineup. Just like a drag show.
Right.
Like, you don't yell at the host of the show and be like, put me in a different spot because you made me the opener. No, you just slay the opening, you know, or, like, do whatever. Like, just do...
That's the thing is, everyone does different drag. And what the girl before me, I don't care how much people love her... I'm going to go out there and do something totally different. I wouldn't go out there and do that.
Right. I'm giving something completely different.
Cute on you. I would never do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it's hard to really say based on we don't really understand what this is. Also, it's kind of weird. I mean, thinking about monologues, if it is that, we just did a roast, which is also in a similar vein.
It's been like either design or comedy challenges.
But maybe it'll be like the one on All-Star 6 where it's serious. It's not supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be like actually good, like deep. Because I did enjoy that.
Yeah, I loved that.
We haven't had a season like that since there was like multiple challenges on All-Star 6 where it was not about being funny. It was about giving us the
vulnerable and relatable,
like the pink table talk.
Like
it was great.
Yes, I love those. I would love specifically with this group that we have now. I would love that type of challenge.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get that.
Yeah,
because it doesn't. Yeah, it would be weird if it's another kind of stand-up related-esque moment.
I mean, the vagina monologues are dramatic, but they just weren't giving dramatic in the promo.
Most of them were given funny.
Yeah, it looked wackadoodle.
So, I mean, I don't know. Who do you think... it's hard to say. Normally, we talk about who would do well.
I mean, if it's anything theater-related, I immediately think Suzie would do well.
Anya's pretty unstoppable.
Yeah.
Lexi's always kind of it depends on...
She's a wild card.
She really is.
Yeah.
I feel like she has become a wild card because the back half of this competition, I feel like I don't know what she's going to give.
Right. And I feel like she's capable of doing well.
Yes.
Sometimes she gets into her own head, but sometimes she does that and wins and is in the top.
Right.
Like Snatch Game.
Well, last week, the preview was, they showed her, like, messing up, and so it was a misdirect to make her look messy. And they did the same thing this week, which is giving me, I don't know if you remember this, but the whole back half of season 15, every week, the preview was them making it look like Sasha Colby was struggling in the preview.
Oh.
And every week she slayed it. So it was giving me that energy now, where they're like trying to make you invested by making it look like a fan favorite struggling.
Right.
But maybe next week she'll slay it and she'll actually get the win.
Knock on wood.
Because I would love for her to have a second win.
I would love Lexi. She deserves a second win. She's been great.
With the exception of the Jules week, where she came for Jules. That was insanity.
I mean, we've had a winner of a season with one win, though. Willow Pill.
And her mom, Evie Hadley.
And Evie, yeah. So, like...
And Kylie Sonique Love.
It doesn't put them out of... Right.
Oh, no, not at all.
But of the contending for
Especially
the crown.
because she's not even been in the bottom at all. She's been low. She's been bottom 3.
Which I would love to see her lip sync. I feel like she's probably the best lip syncer of the season.
Probably. But also, I have no idea what Anya can do in a lip sync.
Right. Do you think they'll lip sync for the crown?
Yeah. At least the top 2 will.
Runway.
Now it's time to get into the runway, and the category was black and white ball, which is very simple.
Did Truman Capote do like a black and white ball, right?
He did balls. He had parties all the time.
Oh.
He did balls too. Testicles.
Right.
Testicle. Up first is Jewel Sparkles. I love this. I do wish that the skirt was pants or broken up.
It feels like a lot like a
heavy
Chanel reference, like a Karl Lagerfeld's, and I agree with you. If she'd like chopped it at the knee or like a little bit before the knee, like
either a skirt or pants.
But it was a reference to Hayden Williams, right? The illustrator on Instagram. I've followed Hayden for a while, and I love their art style. It's gorgeous. And this was like beautifully brought to life. But like, things work differently on a illustration than they do in real life.
Because they don't ever draw people like people.
How they're proportioned, right. And I do feel like if she had I feel like if she had it chopped it short, I would love it even more. With like a tight and then just a pump.
Because that jacket and the top, like the top half is everything.
It's gorgeous.
I don't remember her having a tail.
Does she have a tail?
Right there. I remember Suzie having a tail.
Right.
I don't remember seeing that.
Oh, because the cat purse.
Yeah.
It's
not a tail. It's on her arm. That's right.
Oh, it's like a foxtail.
Yeah, but
like,
for a minute, because everything's black.
It did look like that,
It was connected.
This is very, now that I think of it, it's very Karl Lagerfeld. Like, that could have been
even the hair is giving that a little
bit. Like a femme.
Up next, she's giving us panty. It is lingerie. Hey, it's in her name. Lingerie.
If she just had like a flare skirt on, I would love this.
I also wish she had the pads on from the challenge.
Oh, true. If you're going to do...
Shape, yeah.
But it doesn't look like that. I mean, if that's riding up on her now...
Right.
It wasn't... It would
But you know what? Well, maybe it would keep it... You could keep it in place.
If you tucked it underneath and pinned it.
And when you have tights on like that, the black... and you know your panty's going to show, I don't know. Either just don't wear it. Because if the crotch area is white and not sheer, like, don't put that black panty on, because it was distracting.
It was very... a white panty would have worked better for me, because it would have been blended in more with the outfit. Or,
do you think that was intentional, though?
I can't tell.
Like, because, it
would have been, it would have been really funny in camp. She put a little bow there. You know?
I did love the hair and makeup.
The hair and makeup. I mean, Lana always looks so gorgeous, like, here. Like, she's stunning. And this is nitpicky, but, like, for some reason, it's really bugging me that the polka dots don't go all the way down the foot. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it stops at the ankle.
Right.
And then I'm like, well, then you should wear a closed-toed shoe. But she's very insistent about wearing open-toed, even with a tight. And I don't know why that bugs me so much.
Well, because she has to wear those damn stripper heels.
I know.
That don't go with the look at all.
I don't. But I do love elements of this, and this could be done really, really, like...
Could be restyled.
Right. We can fix this, because it's so beautiful. The bows everywhere. I'm a bow fan. And
you do love bows.
I do love... That's a quintessential part of my drag is bows. It has a lot of potential, because the sleeves are fun. And the gloves matching the tights, that's beautiful.
Up next, also showing her panty, it is Lexi Love. Now, hers was very clearly intentional.
And it was because it was bedazzled. This was so pretty. This kind of reminded me of Roxy Andrews' design challenge, the painted one. With the ombre.
The first thing that crossed my mind was like, oh, another train, another cave. We're going to say something, but like, it was beautiful.
But she does it differently each time, and this one flowed up, and like she... One thing about Lexi is she's always going to sell it.
It's a moment. It still makes it a moment.
It's a runway moment.
Yeah. Because she wears a lot of simple dresses, and if she didn't have the extra over the top, drama of that, then it would be too simple.
I love the darker lip on her. The makeup is gorgeous, and this headpiece is really pretty.
This was stunning. This up next is Lydia B. Kollins.
This might be my favorite Lydia look she's done all season.
Definitely my favorite Lydia look of the season.
Her shape looked great.
Best shape of the season for her. Yeah. Best clear concept, because this was one where she had multiple patterns and things where it could go wrong,
but it worked well.
It was well designed and perfectly proportioned. This might be my favorite. I don't know.
Ooh, yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it is, and maybe regret that later.
I did enjoy this. I thought it was gorgeous.
At least she went out looking stunning, and even when she cut it, if she finishes cutting it, it's still gonna be a great dress.
Yeah, she can just wrap a hem, do a high-low moment, and you're good to go. And I didn't even mind the gloves. Like,
the gloves were like what made it a little bit Lydia, because also her hair and makeup were very elegant for her as well. Like the hair was very.
She can really paint.
Yes,
she has like a mug.
Up next is Onya Nurve, who was the Black Swan. This is another one where the biggest thing that I noticed right away is the styling is just bad. She needed an opera link glove.
Yes, I would put a sheer, ruched, extra long, opera length, like black glove with it.
And the thing with this look is you could do that, but also you could do just a black one, or just like any satin. Sort of opera length glove. Like, there's not many examples I could think of that wouldn't elevate this look.
Right, or even like she could have done the red color of the beak, like a red glove. And that would have been, like, taken it...
I think it's orange, but yeah.
Orange, yeah. Whatever color. The Fascinator is beautiful.
Yeah, and the dress was pretty, too.
Yeah, the breast...
She looked a little short.
The breast. But I feel like I like the Fascinator more than I like the dress.
It's actually giving a little bit of, Layla McQueen on season 8. We were like, that gown swallows you up a little, girl.
It is, right. It's kind of how I feel about Another Look later down the line.
But I think that if it was restyled, it would be...
Yeah. Again, has potential.
Mm-hmm. Up next is Sam Starr.
This also, I feel like, is wearing her. Like,
and she didn't know how to model it at all. Like, she couldn't even fake Given Clown. Like, she would never wear this for real.
I felt like she's trying to show them versatility. So she was like, I'm going to do something
I'm going to be a clown.
Right, I'm going to be a clown, but like with your signature hair. Like this.
The hair was not clown at all.
The hair doesn't make any sense to me.
Her jewels on the face for the clown makeup was just, I just wasn't buying it, you know? Like,
what I didn't like was the giant chandelier, earring, and then like
the giant jewel.
Yeah, right next to it. Dusty jewel.
I say that because it has no good shine. It looked...
Oh, yeah, no impact.
It looked like it was a craft store, which I'm sure it is, being that giant, a craft store one, but find one that's not dusty.
Dusty Jewels, she's on next season.
Yeah, for some reason... Dusty Jewels. For some reason, I really just didn't care for this. I think because I just didn't believe her at all.
Right. Lydia's patterns worked really well together. I feel like these are fighting each other. She should have worn this for the mask runway. Instead of that cloud thing.
I don't remember it. I don't remember a mask runaway. Was that in the first 5 episodes?
Yes. I think that was like...
They all blend together.
I think that might have been the first episode.
People will say something that will happen in those first ones, and I watched them. It's on camera.
Yeah.
It's on the Patreon, but I don't remember it.
Right.
Up next is Suzie Toot. This is the last one. This is one of my favorites. This is up there with Lydia's.
Oh, wait, where's my paddle?
Right there.
Oh, I'm blind.
The coaster.
I think this might be my top. Just the overall look was so...
It was a gag.
Gaggy.
It's one of her best looks, too.
And the makeup, really just stunning. And the way it moved on the runway, it just looked new. I haven't seen anything like this on the Drag Race runway with the fringe, how it moved.
And because it moved, when it was moving, you could see that she had a waist. So I feel like Sam
Smith's, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessary. The only thing I would do is a little highlight on the face, because the makeup was great,
just
but
a little
she
white.
needed a little shine.
Yeah. Yeah, just
that
a little...
That was the only... because the garment was shiny, too,
True, yeah.
I just wanted her to have a little highlight on. But the makeup was actually beautiful, too.
And Untucked, when she took off the fringe, it was...
She had a bodysuit.
It was really cute,
She had a little kitty cat bodysuit under there.
So
she did have a tail.
She looks like a 30s fashion illustration.
If they did Cats, the musical, in the 1930s, she would be in the movie.
Exactly. Oh, wait, actually, can I do a tie for my top, between Jules and Suzie?
No, you can't do a tie.
Oh, okay. I saw Chloe do it.
No, Chloe did soft yeses. Like, she wouldn't even...
A soft top.
She wouldn't even commit to giving them a full-on, this is my favorite.
Right.
She was giving them soft tops.
Okay, that's tea. Well, I liked both of those, but I think I will give it to Suzie, but...
You're trying to pull that gig and say, I don't have one favorite, I have 2 soft tops. We need a third paddle.
We do.
Now it's time to take a look at our YouTube thanks. Up first, Julia says thanks. Thank you, Julia, coming through for us a couple weeks in a row.
Aww.
And then our girl, Africa America, the drag queen.
That's such a fun name.
It's a great name.
I love that.
She's based out of San Francisco, I believe.
Oh, where?
I know she's West Coast, either San Francisco or Seattle, but I want to say San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, Mera. So good to get to see you again and the gals on the new channel. Mm-hmm. Remember to take the time you need for you, as I'm learning on balancing my new responsibilities as well. Yeah. I should have just read ahead, because she's the Diamond Empress of San Francisco. So I was right.
Ooh, that's a beautiful tagline too, the Diamond Empress.
Yeah.
I talked to a queen the other day. I was introing her, and I was like, do you have a tagline? And she's like, no.
Do you have a tagline?
I'm the Ariana Grande of STL.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I don't think I have a tagline. I
would say you're like the Supergirl who is here to save the world.
Actually, I used to have... I'm a mess.
The Mera Mangled mess. No.
I used to say cosplay clown.
Ooh. Is it clown, you feel?
I feel like
You're dressed as Harley Quinn.
I'm literally cosplay clown right now.
Right.
I literally couldn't be more cosplay clown. That's so funny.
I don't know.
But no, for real, that's what I used to say.
Right.
But, I mean, I didn't think of that. I guess that's the closest I could think of that would be a tagline. I'll pray on it and I'll come up with one. Or actually, in the comments, let me know what it should be.
Yes.
She's mentally mangled. Up next, Mera Mangle. Well, let us know what you think about everything occurring with season 17 and who you want to win. And what do you think about this Slaysian Royale? And who do you want to see on the cast and judges panel? I have one last thing to say today. Glad you got to see us, Puddin'. Bye!